Eris, the goddess of strife and discord, known as Discordia in Roman mythology, was not a figure of beauty or benevolence like many of her divine counterparts. Instead, she thrived in the chaos and turmoil that others feared. According to Hesiod's Theogony, she was born of Nyx, the primordial goddess of night. Eris embodied the darker aspects of human existence, such as war, toil, and quarrels. According to Homer's Iliad, Eris is the child of Zeus and Hera, and the companion of her brother Ares. Eris, by both accounts, is the winged goddess of discord and strife, is known for her role in sowing chaos and conflict in both mortal and divine realms. Eris is also described as a daemon. In the ancient world, the concept of a daemon was far more intricate than our modern understanding suggests. Originally, the word daemon represented a supernatural being or spirit, a lesser deity, and sometimes they are a guiding spirit or souls of those who have passed, a liminal entity that could slip between the mortal and divine realms. The daemon was a neutral term and kaleidoscope of spiritual entities who were either good or evil. Agathodaimon represented the noble spirits of prosperity and goodness, while Kakodaimonos lurked as malevolent forces. Eudaimon stood as benevolent spirits or angels, and the term could even be applied to describe a person's fortune, whether touched by luck or cursed by misfortune. In his Works and Days, Hesiod also suggests there is another personification of strife, one who is a source of good. They instill a healthy competition within humans, while younger Eris causes trouble and is a negative strife on mankind. The children of Eris are a haunting pantheon of abstract forces that represent the darkest aspects of human experience. Each of her children embodies a different facet of human suffering and conflict. Eris thought to have produced her offspring parthenogenetically, without a partner, which is consistent with other Greek myths, where primordial or allegorical figures create without sexual reproduction. The following are Eris's children. Ponos personifies labor's merciless grind and the painful toil that Hesiod describes as painful Ponos. Lethe, forgetfulness, oblivion, associated with the river Oblivion in the underworld. Limos, famine, hunger, starvation, held in special regard in Sparta and equivalent to the Roman fames. The Algaea weep as living embodiments of pain and sorrow, their essence capturing the deepest anguish of mortal existence. Hysmeni and Machai are the spirits of battles and wars, their images adorning the legendary shields of heroes like Achilles. Phonoi and Androctasiae represent murder and manslaughter, their dark presence immortalized on the shield of Heracles. Naikia whispers of quarrels, while Sudia spreads lies and falsehoods. Logoi carries tales and words, and Amphilogiae introduces ambiguous disputes that tear at the fabric of communication. Dysnomia represents lawlessness and anarchy, a direct counterpoint to Eunomia, the goddess of good governance and ideal social order. Attai stands as a particularly notorious child, the spirit of delusion and reckless folly. So dangerous was her nature that Zeus banished her from Olympus after she blinded him to Hera's trickery by denying Heracles his birthright. Horkos rounds out this nightmarish family as the curse that falls upon those who break their oaths, ensuring that false swearing brings divine retribution. Together, these children of Eris represent a comprehensive catalog of human conflict, social breakdown, and the destructive potential that lurks within mortal interactions. Eris, the goddess of discord, and Ares, the god of war, shared a connection as deities associated with conflict, chaos, and destruction. In mythology, their relationship is often characterized as complementary, with Eris inciting strife and Ares embodying the physical violence and brutality of war. Eris is sometimes described as an attendant of Ares, accompanying him into battle to spread discord and fuel conflict. Her role is to create the chaos and enmity that Ares thrives upon, making her an integral part of his mythological sphere. Both deities represent destructive forces, but their domains are distinct. Eris is more associated with the psychological and social elements of discord, such as envy, rivalry, and betrayal, whereas Ares personifies the raw physicality of combat. In Homer's Iliad, Eris and Ares are both present on the battlefield, contributing to the chaotic and destructive nature of war. Eris is said to spur warriors into combat, inciting bloodshed, which aligns with Ares' destructive influence as the god of war. Eris, the goddess of discord, shares thematic and familial connections with the Keres in Greek mythology. The Keres are personifications of violent death and doom, often depicted as dark and fearsome spirits who hover over battlefields, waiting to claim the souls of the dying. The Keres, also the children of Nyx, represent different but complementary aspects of chaos and destruction. Eris incites discord and rivalry, sowing the seeds of conflict and creating the conditions for war. Once the conflict begins, the Keres are drawn to the battlefield, reveling in the bloodshed and claiming the lives of mortals who fall in combat. They are depicted as scavengers of death, emphasizing their role as harbingers of doom. Eris and the Keres together represent the cycle of violence. Eris plays a pivotal part in some myths, most famously through her involvement in the events leading up to the Trojan War. It was believed wherever there was discord and strife, Eris was present, and so naturally, when it came to happy events like weddings, no one wanted to invite discord into their midst. Sadly for Thetis and Peleus, despite not inviting Eris to their wedding, she turned up anyway and incited chaos among the gods. The ancient poet Caleuthus of Lycopolis describes how Eris, the goddess of discord, obtained the golden apple from the Hesperides garden to sow discord among the goddesses at the wedding of Peleus and Thetis. Eris threw the golden apple of discord into the gathering, inscribed with the phrase, "to the fairest." The apple sparked a quarrel among Hera, Athena, and Aphrodite, each claiming the title. To settle the dispute, Zeus ordered the three goddesses to present themselves before Paris, the prince of Troy, for judgment. Paris, awoken by the messenger god Hermes, was tasked with deciding which goddess deserved the apple. Each goddess attempted to sway Paris with tempting offers. Hera promised dominion over all lands, Athena offered unparalleled skill and glory in battle, and Aphrodite tempted him with the love of the most beautiful mortal woman, Helen of Sparta. Unable to resist Aphrodite's offer, Paris declared her the fairest, setting in motion his pursuit of Helen, who was already married. This fateful decision ignited the Trojan War. Eris's presence in this story did not end there. Although she did not actively participate in the battle, she was present among the fighting. In Homer's Iliad, Book 4, he gives a vivid portrayal of Eris on the battlefield. Amidst the chaos, a shadow stirred small at first, barely more than a whisper weaving through the ranks. It was Eris, the goddess of discord, whose presence thrived in the frenzy of war. She moved like a phantom among the fighters, her sharp, gleaming eyes sowing doubt and anger in every heart they met. The skirmishes she inspired flared hotter, her influence invisible but insidious, seeping into the minds of men who already teetered on the edge of despair and rage. As the battle raged on, Eris fed on the energy of the conflict, growing larger with every spilled drop of blood and every anguished shout. What had begun as a diminutive figure now swelled into a towering presence. Her feet remained grounded on the earth, but her form stretched skyward, her head piercing the clouds and brushing the stars. The sight was both awe-inspiring and terrible, her immense size embodying the overwhelming, all-consuming nature of war. Her laughter, cold and sharp, echoed across the plains, fueling the fury of the combatants below. The warriors, caught in the throes of their own chaos, fought with even greater ferocity, their anger heightened by the goddess's influence. As the sun began to set, the battlefield lay shrouded in darkness, both literal and metaphorical, with Eris reigning supreme over the disorder she had nurtured into its full, monstrous form. Eris's growing size is a metaphor for the expanding chaos of war. In the lost epic poem Cypria by Stasinus, it is stated that Zeus sought to lighten the burden on Gaia, Earth, by reducing the number of humans, especially demigods, who had grown too numerous and powerful. He decided to do so through the Trojan War, a massive conflict that would ensure many heroes and demigods perished. While the Cypria mentions Zeus's overarching plan, it does not explicitly state that Zeus instructed Eris to throw the apple of discord at the wedding of Peleus and Thetis. However, some interpretations suggest that Eris's actions and the subsequent quarrel among the goddesses aligned perfectly with Zeus's goal of initiating the series of events leading to the Trojan War. Eris's legacy extends beyond mythology. In modern times, her name has been given to a dwarf planet discovered in 2005. She also inspired the religion Discordianism, which celebrates chaos and unpredictability. Thank you for watching. If you liked our video, please give us a thumbs up and subscribe.